Hello, my friends, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. I am feeling better enough finally to go ahead and get back into some Miskatonic Mondays. I did stream my playthrough of this, the 2 hours at least, as a members only stream. That happens about 9 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time every Sunday night, so do stop by at those times if you want to experience that. Sometimes it's a lot of fun. Other times, not so much. Last night, at the recommendation of someone in the comments, I went ahead and tried the demo for Solasta 2. And it was interesting. Let's go ahead and first we're going to look over the information that they have here on the site. Now, you see that it is just the demo. It's still to be announced. They've had a dev update as recent as February 18th. The demo just came out on the 20th, so it's recent. This says, uncover the land of Neokos. Create and guide your party of 4 adventurers as they head to the faraway continent of Neokos in a quest driven by their family legacy in the face of the threat by the ancient and enigmatic Shadwin. What choices will you make to push back the impending tide of corruption? Solasta 2 is a grand sequel to Solasta, the Crown of the Magister, a much-beloved tactical RPG known for its faithfulness to the tabletop experience. Decades after defeating the Sorak menace, a new fledgling party of heroes travels to distant lands in search for redemption. Just like on tabletop, Solasta 2 remains true to its promise to deliver gameplay based on the world's most popular TTRPG. Prepare your spells, land that sneak attack, smite this monster, bathe in the familiarity of your tabletop experience. But that's not all Solasta 2 will have to offer. This new opus will also allow you to freely roam the land of Neokos, to explore and uncover the map as you will. Whether you stick to familiar roads or head off into the wilderness, the choice is yours. Just be careful, because as we've said, you make the choices, dice decide your destiny. The developers describe the content as having the use of alcohol, blood, suggestive themes, violence, and language, which makes sense. And you will see, and I wish I'd paid a little more attention to this at the first, here in the brief description, it says, in a mana-infused land, a dark force led by the enigmatic Shadwins threatens Neokos. Bring your party of adventurers together across perilous realms in this turn-based tactical RPG based on the SRD 5e rule set. You make the choices, dice decide your destiny. Now, I do have a few things to say about this, but I think we'll do that while we examine what happened in the playthrough. Welcome to the Solasta 2 demo, adventurer. What you are about to dive into is a short adventure with a pre-made party designed to showcase a slice of the core mechanics and spirit of our game. Whether you're a seasoned veteran or new to the world of Solasta, we're thrilled to have you here. Please keep in mind that some animations and assets are still a work in progress, but we hope this demo gives you an exciting glimpse of what's to come. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Have fun. So you are presented afterwards with an image of course, the team that you are going to spend the demo with, because they do give you a pre-made team. I'm assuming from the way the description sounds, you are capable of creating your own team at the time that you actually play the game. But it really makes it easier, I guess, if they don't have the character creator already up and running. And then a quick look through the options. The one thing that definitely caught my eye was the idea of having helper roles, which obviously makes the game, I'm assuming, easier since it improves your rolls. I turned that off initially. That's not something that I particularly think of as a good thing, but as I got further into the game, I became more and more aware of the fact that when they said 5e, they didn't just mean 5e. They didn't mean 2014 5e. They meant Dungeons and Dragons 2024, which, if you've been on this channel very long, you know that I do not have a positive opinion on. Now, what made this version of D&D that they were using abundantly obvious was when I went into the descriptions for each character. Well, first I looked at the short description of each character that appears on the screen when you hover over their image, and then I went to the description for each character in the menu. And it wasn't until you look at the character's background that they saw fit to mention what race they were. Now, granted, if you've played enough of these games, you played enough D&D, you can tell right off for the most part exactly what these various characters are. However, the fact that they have these set as ancestry for the background, so it says ancestry dwarf, And on the initial panel, it just says humanoid. That makes it abundantly clear that they are using the 5e 2024 rules as opposed to the 2014. That alone makes me really hesitant to even bother recommending this as a game to play. There's more reasons why I wouldn't recommend it, but that is definitely one of the first that irked me off the bat. The next issue I really had is the lack of interactivity in the game. Now, I understand this is a demo and things may improve between now and then, but I come from a history of playing literally this kind of game. Some of my favorite games in the late 90s, the early 2000s were Neverwinter Nights, Icewind Dale, Neverwinter Nights 2, things like that. Based on TTRPGs, based on the D&D rules, not very close. You'll hear a lot of people whine about various amounts of the differences between them. But the fact of the matter is, when you play Neverwinter Nights, the atmosphere of that game is so amazing. You can click on most of the people in the game and they at least have some kind of flavor text to pop up over their head. They may not say much of anything, but there's something there. There's at least a little bit of something there to give the world more depth. This, unless the character actually has something to say to you involving getting through to a quest or the next area or something, nothing. They don't light up. They don't do anything. You can't click on them. They absolutely nothing. There are so many different examples of that throughout this game that it really just drives me crazy. Pushing down the Alt key and seeing so little to interact with throughout the entire demo is not a promising start. Now again, I will reemphasize, this is a demo. Things can change. They can go back and make improvements. But for me, it's just not enough. It's not. If this demo was representative of what they want you to see in the game, I can't support it. It doesn't have enough interactivity for me. That's not to say there isn't anything positive in this game. There are things that look nice. The feel, if I liked D&D 24, would actually be good. As far as I can tell, the truity at which they managed to stick to the rules is pretty close. And I like the fact that they actually include in each tutorial which one of these things are kind of homebrew within their own world, because they do have, the tutorials pop up and at the bottom you see a little thing that says homebrew. And that's kind of cool. I do like that just a little bit. It gives you an idea of where they decided to take the rules and expand on them, which is honestly one of the things D&D has always been great for, even as far back as the original D&D, is the fact that you don't have to follow the books strictly. You don't have to follow the rules one-to-one. Now, some people choose to, and that's fine. But the fact is they were never meant to be an absolute. They are a starting point, and how people choose to use them is the important part. But there are very nice things in this game. The views they come up with are very nice. The visuals are pretty, and I will give you some of the examples of the voice acting that I actually enjoyed.
Oh, Jabori, where are you? You should be here by now. Hope it ain't that stupid dragon again.
Hey, Ellie. Are you okay?
Oh, bless my furry feet. Fancy seeing you here. Welcome to Torwen.
Hey! Who in the name of our mighty Obsidian Majesty are you lot? Spill the beans! Or we'll feed you to a mage.
We are worshippers of the Black Dragon. It granted us a gift, proof of its trust, a scale of its dark body.
They're a dragon shaman boss, and don't want to upset the big un boss. I knows what they is, Slasher. Now shut your trap, all I've got you. Dragon shaman. I suppose so. Damn Sickless and his friends poking stony faces where they not wanted. Just working out what we do next.
Now, to kind of wrap this up, I am going to cover one other thing that did bother me. It's the fact that they really do kind of take the importance out of which character you have in the lead of the group out of the equation. So they stated at the beginning in a tutorial where they say that it doesn't matter what character you have control of when you start a conversation, because all characters can respond, and that group roles occur as you're going through the world no matter what. So who you have in your lead at any point in time doesn't really affect the game. It's not something that is considered important in any way, shape, or form. And for me, that really kind of takes away something from these kinds of games. Why give me different characters if the different characters don't matter? Now, I mean, they do matter in the terms of each character gets their own conversational choices and own roles and own bonuses and so forth. But at the same time, I am of the opinion that I want to know that the character I have control of has an importance. I want to have that level of difficulty where I have to choose who I am approaching people with and having to read the situation in that way. I can understand where that would possibly bother others, but it's just the way I feel about these kinds of games. So overall, this demo is just basically a no for me. I am too stuck in the old tradition of things, like I said, Neverwinter Nights 2, Icewind Dale, when it comes to the turn-based RPGs like this, especially ones based on actual tabletop games like D&D specifically. That's not to say that somebody who enjoys the 2024 version of D&D wouldn't enjoy this game. I think if you have a less rigid point of view of how these things should be, you will probably enjoy this game, and then I think you should get it. But if you are like me, if you don't like the way that current D&D does things, if you don't like just certain types of things sort of being in your game, then this game's not going to be for you. That doesn't mean you shouldn't check it out on your own or do whatever. Demo's free. Absolutely go through and explore it if you want to. This is just my 2 cents. That said, let me know what you guys thought about this. I'd like to see your comments. I do enjoy reading them. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. If you really liked it, you can feel free to share it around, and I will catch you later.